everyone, it's Andrea from Snow Cabin Crafts with a paper pumpkin alternative. This time the Fall for 12 for September 2025. And if you don't know what paper pumpkin is, it is a monthly crafting experience with Stampin' Up. You can order a recurring subscription, which you can stop and start as you need to. You can prepay to get a discount for a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription, which you can also stop and start as you need to. And as long as you have that stop or start entered by the 10th of the month, you're good for that month. We all need a break sometimes, or sometimes we just let things accumulate, as I have done, which is why we are going through all of these alternative projects while I'm on an extended road trip, and this is the last one for a while. I have the October Stampin' Up! Paper pumpkin that arrived at home right after we left. So I have that. I have November, and then as soon as we get back in December, I'm probably getting the December one. So you'll see another batch of projects, hopefully mid-December, and then I'll feel like I'm caught up until we decide to take another trip. But anyway, we're here to do some crafting. So the first one is this card, and as I have mentioned before, generally the cards are printed the same front and back, and they have this beautiful toile pattern. The frame in this card is a die cut, as is the tree. Actually, I think that's all part of the same die cut, which is why I opted to more or less follow their idea, because I just didn't see a good way of cutting that in half or doing something different. I absolutely love the toile pattern, and so I went ahead and echoed that with the pecan pie cardstock. I moved the sentiment and I kept the acorns to do something else with. And the embellishments are the Neutrals adhesive back sequins, these, and I think previously I had described them as seasonal sequins. You see there's the white that I've used on another card, the gold, kind of the early espresso, and a copper color. So I love these sequins. I think they're really versatile. So again, I cut down the front of the card to mat onto the card base. This is pretty simple. Added in the dimension, or the sentiment, and these are all popped up with dimensionals. So fairly simple card, but I think it's just beautiful. So that's the first card. And if I didn't mention it already, I made 27 cards out of this set. So the next card, I was able to cut the back half of the card in half, so quartered basically one full sheet from the front and halved the back side for that. This DSP is actually the back of one of the Let's Go Fishing sheets. So again, don't ignore those, the back sides of some of your DSP. There's some great patterns there. There's just all sorts of versatility in those. And then just stamped a tag, you know, punched a tag and stamped it, did a little background stamping with the acorn and the leaves on it, and more of the pecan pie cardstock. And again, a very simple card using the back of the first card here. All right, and then the last one combines, takes the acorns from this card and the leaves from this card to come up with this. It's hard to get it all in the same picture. So I just crumpled up and tore some cardstock, stamped the acorns, added the leaves, added some of those neutral sequins, and kind of loosely adhered it so that there's just some kind of dimension and whatnot to the pecan pie background. And there you have it. A pretty easy card, one that your kids can participate in, or, you know, bad day at work, make this card, crumple up that paper, wad it up good. All right, So then the next one also uses the acorn stamp, and this card, you can see there's like a difference here and here. You would be stamping the leaf on this card. It's more just kind of a plain linen look card. So, of course, I had to cut it up. So this is basically 1/4 of the card that I randomly stamped and added the acorns and added my sentiment. And then I don't remember where this paper came from. This is more of the card, so this is just a long strip cut from the card base. This is some of the early espresso, just the generic DSP. Again, I've mentioned that before. It's organized in brights and neutrals and subtles, and I have just spaced out the last one. But anyway, you get different patterns, and it's all really easy to work with, and a Cajun Craze cardstock for the background. But the little sentiment here, with of course more room for the sentiment inside the card, but a fun little card to work with, and I used the white sequins from those neutral sequins to kind of pop out the color from the original card base. Okay, and then more paper crumpling. I didn't do it quite as much on this one, but I used more of the leaves. As you can tell, I didn't use all the leaves there, because why use them all on one card when you can use them on many cards? And then I stuck with their sentiment and the pecan pie cardstock, but just, tearing, crumpling cardstock, and more of those neutral sequins. And these elements are using dimensionals. So you have that. And then these are actually early espresso. They kind of look black, but they're early espresso metallic leaves. I ran some Timid Tiger through the embossing machine with, I think it's the Falling Leaves embossing folder, and some pecan pie ribbon and crumb cake that I edged a little bit with ink, and just kind of kept it simple and stamped all over. So just kind of random stamping with the leaf stamps that come in the set. And there's that one. And then our last card, again, one of those cards that I find a little difficult to figure out what I might do with it. So I did cut the card front down. Okay, that's where that paper came from. It's part of this card that I had cut up. So that would be, it's been a while since I designed these. Nope, not that card. Bear with me. Oh, this card. Okay, so this is the same as this. So it's just, again, cutting the card front, cutting it down to mat onto, this is going to be Darling Duckling. And then I cut the back in half for the other cards. But otherwise kept this basically the same. And the embellishments I added there are the gold textured adhesive backed dots. These that I think are pretty versatile. And that is it for the cards that I made out of this set. Again, I got 27 out of it, where you should be getting 9. And I think, you know, some of the cards, again, echo the original designs. And I know with these flaps on the envelopes, people are playing with that paper and doing other alternative designs. And a lot of people just went crazy over this set. I think it's just a really beautiful paper pumpkin. So let me know which ones you like the most. And I look forward to seeing you in about 6 weeks. And thank you for spending some time with me. Bye-bye.